The big question right now is what will the court, in terms of a time frame, remand will be given to the Enforcement Directorate for the Delhi Chief Minister. That's what time will tell us. But I have with me Ashwini Dubey, Varun Singh, political analyst, Manasvi Thapar also with us on the broadcast. Let me begin with Ashwini Dubey. Ashwini Dubey, the Enforcement Directorate did have the option of asking for 14 days of custody. They've demanded 10 days for now. Why do you think they've gone ahead with this sort of a strategy?
No, not a strategy. This is an ongoing investigation, and if the investigating agency or the enforcement directorate thinks that there are certain more arrests and the evidences needs to be recovered, and also those are required to be investigated, then they can ask for the remand of any person for 14 days. This is there within their domain. Now, this is one. Second, this is an ongoing investigation. Investigation has yet not completed, and as per the enforcement directorate, they said the many more evidences are yet to be procured, and arrest may also take place. Third is that there are 3-4 persons arrested, like former deputy chief minister, former minister, then the K. Kavita from South, and other person associated with the offense in question. So their interrogation and also asking all of them for their confession, for their statement, for asking them all to sit together and look into it. So it is an investigation. Mode and manner has to be decided by the agency. What is the law says, and it is not an offense which is where the criminal jurisprudence, the normal criminal law would apply. It's a special statute made by the Parliament, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, where the Enforcement Directorate, even as per the Act, even as per the Supreme Court judgment, also have its own regulations how to conduct an investigation. So let's see what will happen. It is on the domain of the Honorable
But Ashwini
Court.
Dubey, my question was slightly different. What I'm trying to understand is, and perhaps you can help shed some light on that, the Enforcement Directorate has been wanting to get its hands on Arvind Kejriwal for a very long time now. That's the reason why you sent summons to him. 9 times you have sent out summons to him. Now finally the courts have given a judgment in your favor which have allowed you to bring Arvind Kejriwal in your custody. My simple question is, why not demand then in the first go for 14 days? This is a person that you are seeing in the court is the kingpin of the entire scam. Would you not want the maximum amount of time of him under custody?
See, look, there are 2 aspects. One, so far as the summons, at the first instance, when the summon is issued, the person has to go. It's a legal obligation. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is not an ordinary citizen or a businessman. He's a chief minister. For having him behind the bar, for having him against him, there is a need of concrete evidence. So those evidences by virtue of which the earlier arrest took place at that point of time may not be sufficient as per the investigating agency. Later on, when slowly investigation moved on, then evidences come. Second, 9th time summons were issued, and even in 9th times he did not appear. Court have not said, let me clarify, court have not said you go and arrest. Court said, why have you not arrested? Why have not arrested me does not gives an impression that court has said to arrest. But yes, when there was no protection granted by the court from the arrest yesterday, then investigating agency arrested him. Had it been the protection, he would not have been arrested. And to arrest somebody, there has to be a reason to believe that there is an evidence that this person has committed such offense. This is what the Prevention of Money Laundering Act says. And the second, that person is guilty of that offense because it's a scheduled offense, and the being the special act, there are certain criteria and parameters defined and decided in the PMLA Act. So that is what I think that investigating agency might not be having the sufficient evidence at that point of time earlier, and that is why they did not arrest him. Hopefully, I am able to answer your question.
Okay. Yes, thank you. I'm going to bring in our other voices as well. Manasvi Thapar also with us. Manasvi, I just want to understand from you, a lot of information will now pour out of what's being said in the courts. And of course, the Enforcement Directorate has for a very long time maintained that it is Arvind Kejriwal who's the mastermind, who's the kingpin in this entire Liquorgate scam. Will this narrative or this information that's coming out Will this now have an impact on the image of an Arvind Kejriwal, which he has also cultivated very carefully over the years? He came in as a man who said that we need to free and rid the country of corruption. That was the genesis of his political identity and his coming into politics, if I can put it that way. Today he's been taken to a court in a massive corruption allegation. How does the narrative then play out here for an Arvind Kejriwal?
See, if as per the proceedings of the court and as per the ASG that he's the kingpin, if it is proved that he's a kingpin, definitely his image, what he has built up as a crusader of corruption, crusader against corruption, as an image which he had built up of a clean India, corruption-free India. That's what the ideology has always been. The formation of Aam Aadmi Party, the movement India against corruption, it's still very fresh in the country's mind. And the Aam Aadmi Party, the premises on what it was built was anti-corruption. India should be free of corruption. The entire plan of Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal ji ends and is dismantled if he's proved not only a kingpin, even a small iota of corruption, if it's coming to his way, the entire plan would be completely dismantled, on which he's having his standing since last 10 years. Having said that, if this plan, which could be dismantled if he's the kingpin or a small pin also in this particular matter, if it is not the case, he'll come out as a phoenix, he'll come out as a rising star in terms of the politics, the optics of this particular country. Because what will happen would be, then it would be, the narrative would be that he has been victimized by the ED, he has been victimized by the ruling government, that while he was not involved in the liquor gate, still his name was put in. But this is a matter of entire investigation to be completed. This is a matter wherein he has to come out clean, with clean hands. As of now, what we are seeing is things are not very much in sync with what Aam Aadmi Party would want for the Lok Sabha elections. Things are not in sync with what Arvind Kejriwal would want to project himself as a leader, as an upcoming leader, or a future prime minister, or a stable chief minister who would repeat his third term. This would not look very good on Arvind Kejriwal's or Aam Aadmi Party's timing in their political journey as of now.
Okay, Varun Singh, bringing you into the conversation as well, just your perspective on the same. Does an Arvind Kejriwal, his dramatic arrest late last night, does this now give some sort of an impetus to the opposition or to the opposition unity?
Sorry, I laugh because of the word opposition unity. I don't see any unity in any of the opposition parties. You see, almost all the opposition parties have declared their candidates without even consulting. So the word opposition unity made me, break a bit. But about Kejriwal, what many of the people, because as a student of politics, I see it as an attack. More than the Aam Aadmi Party, the INC is today, the Congress is today in a bit of fix. Why? Because for a very simple reason. The Congress here was expecting, till few days ago, the Congress was accusing Arvind Kejriwal on allegations of the same liquor gate. You have so many videos of Ajay Makkan and other leaders who have come out and said that Arvind Kejriwal was involved made allegations that he was the kingpin of the liquor gate scam. And all of a sudden, now they have to defend him. They are caught in a fix because they don't know. They were expecting that the Arvind Kejriwal voters will come to them, but now with Kejriwal not campaigning, that kind of voters would probably not, that kind of mass appeal that Kejriwal would have got when he was going to be on the stage and get those people to vote for the Congress candidates in Delhi, probably that is not going to happen now. And that is the reason why I said the Congress probably is caught in a fix. And Kejriwal, the way he had been evading summons, his image as someone who stands for law, who respects law, who stood, as a journalist, I used to cover in Mumbai when India Against Corruption movement was happening over here. And we used to see the kind of crowd that Kejriwal would manage to draw. But slowly and gradually it was going down. Even in Mumbai, the kind of protest we were expecting didn't happen. So on the ground, people, the way he was evading those summons, that image of him being non-corrupt is gone. And secondly, the way they have been trying to, portray the feeling amongst the common people that, bail is not being granted purposely. अरे ये ऐसा देश है जहाँ पे सलमान खान को कन्विक्शन होने के बाद नेक्स्ट डे क्या शाम को कोर्ट बेल दे देती है if he is found to be there are loopholes in the judgment or there are allegations are not substantiated. So why wouldn't bail be granted? That is what also the people are asking. Why Manish Sisodia, Satyendra Jain, all these people who have been arrested, and it is a multi-party scam. Just remember Kavita from TRS also, or BRS also has been arrested in the same scam. So it is not something that people only see as Kejriwal being attacked. They are also seeing it as if there has been a scam. Congress has said it, BJP has said it, and everyone has accused them, and now the ED is acting. So I don't think that image of Kejriwal was very good in the last few days of him being non-corrupt or his party men being non-corrupt. So I don't think there is any tarnishing या ऐसा कुछ इसका होगा आगे.
Okay, Ashwini Dubey, bringing you back into the conversation. We have to, of course, maybe assuming, rather, let's say, because the judgment is not yet out, there's no clarity as to what will really happen. So, assuming that the ED is then given custody of Arvind Kejriwal, what then becomes the role of the Enforcement Directorate in the next few days? What is it, the bare minimum that they have to prove before the courts to ensure that Arvind Kejriwal then remains in custody?
First, the evidences which have been procured till now by the agency, those evidences should be corroborated with Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's statement, because his first time will be interrogated by the Enforcement Directorate. Number two, when K. Kavita was arrested, you remember, there was a speculation or something going on, talks were going on that the conversation between Ms. K. Kavita and Arvind Kejriwal have been recovered by the Enforcement Directorate. So that circumstantial evidences, whether those circumstantial evidences would be enough to establish that yes, he is one of the prime accuser, kingpin, or on whose direction the alleged excise liquor scam has taken place. Three, as today also there was some news that Enforcement Directorate has recovered certain papers from Sheesh Mahal, or his house, the Chief Minister's house, which says that there are certain amounts written, names written, what would be the Goa tickets scandal, maybe altogether different. But that may also open one other the angle of the agency's investigation. Fourth, there is Deputy Chief Minister's allegation against former Deputy Chief Minister that 14 phones have been destroyed. There is an allegation that he, as per the ED and the recent conversation going on, that every action taken by then Excise Minister, Mr. Manish Sisodia, was at the behest and as per the directions of Arvind Kejriwal. If it is so, then he would be treated as a lead accused. So lead accused role become much more more than the normal co-accused person. So ED has to establish in that aspect. So it is ED has to investigate all those probable angles, and that is what. And if there is any other, if the evidence is to be collected, then they will go and they will conduct raid at that place. Whether the money proceeds of crime is kept somewhere else, they will also be there, because time and again the Aam Aadmi Party leaders and ministers are saying no money recovered. But let me clarify, and for this PMLA Act, proceeds of crime does not mean that only money or cash has to be recovered. Proceeds of crime means your influence, and as per your influence, if something wrong is happening, and which is a penetrative offense under the predictive offense under the enforcement of the PMLA Act, that person shall also be held liable for the offense. As of now, very candidly, as you have said, and I would agree that nothing has been proved. But yes, he is an accused in a matter where two former chief ministers, two ministers, one deputy chief minister and one former minister, and the one legislator and many other businessmen are inside the jail. So let's see what will happen tomorrow. We are waiting for the charge sheet. that what evidences do they have. But yes, as of now, there are evidences with the agency, reason to believe, and as the ground of arrest has to be informed, ground has to be written as the Supreme Court judgment that yes, he is one of the accused of alleged liquor corruption case.
Absolutely. And as per now, information coming in live about what's happening in the courts, reports online are suggesting that the Enforcement Directorate has informed the court that Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was not cooperative during the search. Meanwhile, Senior Advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who was appearing for Arvind Kejriwal, has opposed the remand plea of the Enforcement Directorate, and he submitted that the first thing they need to show is necessity to arrest. Abhishek Manu Singhvi says that the power of arrest and necessity of arrest are two different things. I will try to rope in one of my colleagues who's standing at the Rouse Avenue court where all the drama is currently unfolding as far as Arvind Kejriwal's arrest is concerned. But Manasvi, do you think somewhere that Arvind Kejriwal perhaps should have then cooperated with the Enforcement Directorate when the summons were sent out?
See, looking at the scenario now, obviously, while we connect the dots backwards, it would be wise to, as soon as the summon comes, you just appear before the ED and give whatever answers ED wants. Now, with 9 summons and while the elections are on your head, things are not right because you are under arrest. Party would be chaos at a chaotic end, and there is no certainty you are going to come out, not come out. The entire drama will not be very in your favor at any point of time. On the contrary, if you are not guilty, in your conscience, you know that you are not guilty, you should have not avoided summons. Initially, it could have been that it would have been difficult for you to appear, but second, third, or fourth summon, whenever you were summoned, you should have been with the ED and cooperated with the. I think, on the contrary, Arvind Kejriwal becomes the first person to cooperate with any kind of investigating authorities because he has been very vocal during his struggle days while he was not the chief minister, while he was in the formative days of Arvind Kejriwal. He's been very vocal that koi bhi saman aata hai, koi bhi notice aata hai, that you should appear before the investigating authorities, and he should have set that benchmark as a personality, as a leader. Yes, हमारे में समन आया, हमारे leaders are behind the bars, and we'll fight a legal battle out of it. But right now, it is too late. It is too late when you have asked this question. This could have been avoided. We don't know that would have been it because if you look into the arrest of Manish Sisodia and Sanjay Singh, when they were arrested, they have been arrested since Manish Sisodia since 1.5 years and Sanjay Singh 6 months. So that fear would have been there on Arvind Kejriwal also, that once I appear before the ED, I'll be behind the bar. So that could be the fear on his mind also. That's why he was going before the court and trying to seek some kind of a blanket protection on the summon by the ED. But somehow he did not get it, and ED got an opportunity. And this opportunity was given by Arvind Kejriwal. ED got an opportunity last night itself when the order of the Delhi High Court came, and immediately they did their preparedness, and they went before the Arvind Kejriwal's house and arrested him. So this entire situation could have been different, may not be in the favor of Arvind Kejriwal, but could have been on a different angle if he would have not avoided summons. So we don't know. We can't predict the past, or we can't change the past or predict the future henceforth. But right now it is messy. Right now it is cloudy, gloomy for Arvind Kejriwal until this particular Rose Avenue court's order is out.
Okay, all right. My colleague Akshat Gupta also with us. Akshat, before we wrap up, just a quick update from you. What's happening in the court right now?
Well, yes, Abhishek Manu Singhvi is arguing in favor of Arvind Kejriwal, and he is also questioned Kejriwal. So that if we need to investigate the money trail, then that cannot be a ground for arrest. That can, of course, be a ground for question here, for interrogation, but that cannot be a ground for arrest. And yes, perhaps also raise the question on the basic tenet of the democracy of the constitution when the 2024 general elections are around the corner. And he has said that every political party, every leader should have a level playing field. And for that very reason only, there is no need to arrest Arvind Kejriwal. Of course, we saw earlier how big allegations have been. 2 days ago, 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 2 days that, of course, the verdict which the court will deliver today, and that will actually decide the fate of the Aam Aadmi Party.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.